Life is so far away, but we'll make it one day. Every night that I pray, I just lay there. What up, you know what's up, it's Don the 7. Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a Q&A that I found online, questions that interviewers would ask musicians, and since I'm not big enough to have Nardwar or any podcasts reach out to me to do interviews, there's no way for you guys to find out where my inspiration for music came from. I wanted to do a video like this for a while, but I was kind of hoping that I would have a little bit more of a following when I did it, but given the fact we are 35 subscribers away from the goal that I had set for December 31st of 2020, I figured this would be a good time to do it. So hopefully I can gain some traction through this video and we can move up forward, reach our goal by December 31st, which, in case you guys are new to this channel, my goal is to have 100 subscribers by the time December 31st rolls around. I had this goal set in January. I figured it was a realistic goal for an up-and-coming rapper, a guy who just started his YouTube channel just less than a year ago. So I figured it was realistic to set that kind of a goal. It wasn't out of the things that I could accomplish. Here we are today with a video and a Q&A. As you can see, anybody who still thinks that I'm a branch of Jordan, he ain't here. It's just me. You and me, right now. Alright, so here we go. The first question I have that is a very important one is, what first got you into music? We could start anywhere you wanted here. We could start with the fact that my mom tells stories about the fact that when I was in her belly, in her womb, whatever you want to call it, she would go for a drive, play AC/DC, Shania Twain, Nelly, any other things like that, Dr. Dre. She would feel me kicking in her belly. The joke that's ongoing is cars and music is in my veins. Ever since before I came out, I was loving it. That's the first thing that kind of got me into music, I guess you could say, but realistically, what you could say the first thing that got me into music was I went through a lot of really interesting things throughout my high school life. It's always been very easy for me to write down how I'm feeling versus talking to you about it. I'm much better at writing down how I feel and explaining it through paper, through pen type of thing, as opposed to sitting down and saying, this is how I'm feeling. Writing was my therapy. I started writing poetry when I was 12 years old. People always told me that, you know, you should try and put music over top of it. And I said, oh no, I'm not really into it because I was into hockey really. And then when hockey kind of started fading out, got better and better at poetry. And then I was like, you know what, why not? Like, why not try and put some music over it? And I wasn't bad at first. It took me about a year to get to the point where I was like, okay, I think I could release something like this, even if it was just a starter. And that's where my first EP dropped with Look at This, Dear Mama, and Hard Times, which you should check all of those out. It just kind of shows how far I've come in the last year and 8 months-ish since I've started. I love to listen to them and just remind myself that I'm improving at all times. Whichever one you'd like to choose, that's one of the two moments in which this is what's got me into music. I've always loved music. Who inspired you to make music? Oh geez. So when I first started writing music, like actual like rap, it was right before we found out my mom had cancer. We found out in March and I released my first EP in February of 2019, mind you. The first 3 songs, like, I was in a rough place. Like, Hard Times was talking about a lot of the things that I was going through at the time. Dear Mama was talking about how I bit off more than I could chew, and I realized that I hadn't treated my mom as well as I should have. Mind you, no 17-year-old really fully respects their parents because rebellious and whatnot. It was originally just supposed to be kind of a 3-song EP, one and done type of thing. And so I found it really relaxing to write a lot, so I wrote some more. I wrote, you know, Life is Beautiful. TCS Intro was an alter alias that I had. So there was a couple other ones, but the one that really hit home on my second drop, there was 7 songs, was Greatest Fears, and it was talking about how when I first found out about my mom having cancer, it tells the story of we were in the living room, she started crying, and I was like, what's wrong? Like, who died type of thing? And she says, nobody died. I just need you to know that, you know, I have cancer and I'm going to have to get a reconstruction done, and I have to go through, I think she said 5 or 6 rounds of chemo. I can't remember for sure. That was really hard as a 17-year-old to find out. And of course the question always bears, you know, like, what if she doesn't make it? But we were always trying to stay very confident, very positive about the fact that she would beat it. She's a very strong woman. She's probably the strongest woman I've ever met in my life. So that would have probably been the moment where what inspired me to continue to write would be to give her a better life after all this BS is done type of thing. So that's what really motivated me. Greatest Fears made me realize that I've taken advantage of the great life that my family attempted and had given me. That was the moment where I think writing really started to hit home for me. That's what inspired me to write. What is one message you would like to give your fans? Okay, so first of all, as an up-and-coming artist, I don't really like to label anybody who supports me as fans. I label them supporters, because a lot of people in my life who support my music, I know them personally or I've heard of them or anything like that. So I don't really like to call people fans. It doesn't feel right for somebody who has a following of maybe 1,000 tops. It doesn't feel right for me to call anybody a fan. I'd like to say to my supporters, anybody who wants to do something and thinks that they're not good at, put that voice in your head in the trash. Like, it's non-existent. When I was 11 years old, I made the joke to my mom, I remember this clear as day, and I was saying how I don't know how they talk so fast, I don't know how they say it so quick, like I can't rap. And then as I got older, first song I ever learned how to rap was Look at Me Now by Chris Brown featuring Busta Rhymes and Lil Wayne. You know, those are the songs where it's like, okay, I started practicing, and then I worked on Eminem songs like Mockingbird and When I'm Gone, all those kinds of things. I started practicing on other people's music, and then when I started writing my own poetry, I started trying to say my own poems really fast. That was how I kind of learned to rap, because I was getting faster at it and better at it and learning like how the flows worked. And then when I started making my own music, you can go back, my flows were absolute dog crap. As you practice, the more and more you practice, the better you'll get at it. Because if you think, like, moral of the story is I was 11 years old, I had not a clue how to rap. Now I'm 19 years old. In my opinion, I'm not a bad rapper. Like, I think I'm good. I definitely have room to improve, as does everybody, but I think I'm pretty good at it. It only took me 8 years to do it. So if you want to be an artist and you can only draw a stick figure, sit down and work on it. You'll be a great artist in a matter of time if you just work on it every single day. If you want to be a doctor, you have to really sit down and pay attention in science class, and you have to go the extra mile, look things up on the internet and learn things. Those are the kinds of things where it's like, if you apply yourself, anything can happen. And it sounds cheesy, but it's true. So that would be my message to my supporters, not fans. What is the most useless talent you have? I am very talented at remembering useless information. Information that no person should really, except for a teacher, really need to know unless you're working in like those kinds of fields. I can tell you off the top of my head how tides work. Information in which a rapper like me would never need to know. But I remember it because my grade 11 earth science teacher told me, oh, useless information like this would be fun on a date. And I just kind of remembered that. And that was one of those things where I was like, yeah, okay, I see. But like another one, when I was younger, I loved the Titanic. I love the history. I've always been a huge history freak. I remember researching the Titanic left, right, and center. I have books on it to this day, and I remember learning that the fourth funnel on the Titanic was not functional. So it's things like that where it's like, I don't need to know this, but I do. I don't know why I do, but I do. Where have you performed, and do you have any upcoming shows? As somebody who is just up and coming, I will say it honestly, I've only ever done 2 shows. One of them was at a like my birthday party. I don't know, I was 18 or whatever, and I was like, oh, I got a couple of rapper buddies here, let's play a few of our songs. So we did that. It was kind of fun. And then my buddy threw a party, and I went and performed there in his basement. It was just for fun. I played a few songs. That's the only 2 places I've ever actually performed. But on November 21st of 2020 at PMC Hookah Lounge, Jordan and I will both be there doing some promo for the owner there because we're good customers and we like the lounge and everything. He's a really nice guy. And I offered to perform there just to draw a crowd. So on November 21st, I will be doing a show at PMC Hookah Lounge in Burnaby. Anybody 19 plus is welcome to come out. The entrance is free with your ID. All you have to do is pay for either a drink or a hookah. That's the only payments you'll have to make throughout the whole night. But yeah, it'll be between 5 to 7:30, I believe. I'll play maybe 7 or 9 songs somewhere in there. I'm there mostly to do some promo for the owner. I'm also getting the opportunity to perform in a club of sorts. Given the fact that COVID is happening right now, we have a restriction. I'd love to see anybody who supports me come out, have a good night. It'll be a really fun time. It'll be a good experience for me. That's a little bit of promo there, but that's also kind of relative to the question. Which famous musician do you admire? Tupac, Dax, Eminem. I can't really name one. Okay, actually, hang on. We'll stick with Tupac because Tupac kind of started out the same as me. He was a poet. He was a really big role model to a lot of young rappers coming up, and even now in 2020 his music is still relevant. He was way ahead of his time. People don't admire that like a lot of lyrical rappers do. I've seen people like Lil Xan say that Tupac's music is a 2 out of 10 and all this kind of stuff. People disrespect the guy who laid down his life so we could pursue ours. It's almost like a Jesus of rap. He was rebelled against by everybody, the government, people from the States, people from Canada, everywhere. You had to really sit down and appreciate his music, and then when he died, all those people were like, oh my god, he was amazing, but they were the reasons why he's dead. I have to say in a sense that Tupac is the Jesus of rap music, so you have to respect him. No matter what your opinion on his music is you have to respect him. That would be my ultimate role model. How do you feel the internet has impacted the music business? Oh my god, if I said that it didn't, I would be the ultimate liar. The music business has thrived so much throughout history, and now that the internet is a thing, every little artist that ever wanted to release even a joke song gets attention because the internet is a huge place. If I was to say that the internet wasn't impacting the music industry, that would be a complete and utter lie. The internet impacts everything, especially for little guys like me. The internet is my way of getting out there. It's the ultimate impact on the music industry right now. There's no longer you have to go out to the store and buy the CDs, the cassette tapes, the 8-tracks, the records. You still can, which is great. I have a record player and all that kind of stuff, but you can literally sit and at the tip of your fingers, oh, Eminem released a new album, Shania Twain is coming back, or whatever else like that. The internet has made the information about the music industry and the music industry periods for people to get out there so much easier. A lot of rappers and artists have said, if this was around when I was on the come up, I'd probably be a billionaire right now. That's my take on it. All right, this will be the last question. It says, what's next for you? I'm going to school next year for music production, so next year a lot of my time is going to be focused on that. I'm still going to do my best to uphold the putting songs out like Friend on the 1st and 15th of every month. Right now I'm recorded up until April. I have a few more songs. My goal is to be recorded up until May, so that way by the time I hit my first semester through of that course, I will have a little bit of experience so I can start using my production and engineering skills. But by the end of 2021, I expect to be on Apple Music, Spotify, all this kind of stuff, on all platforms. That's the goal. That's what's next. A lot of the songs that I've written are relevant to what's happening in the world right now. You know, there's going to be a song coming out probably on the 15th of November called Bicker. I'll touch more on that after it releases and all this kind of stuff. I'm hoping to do more of these kind of videos where I'm kind of sitting here at my desk talking to you guys, because I want you guys to remember the main reason why I'm doing the YouTube and the vlogs and stuff like that is if and hopefully when the time comes that I actually become somebody, I want to remind you guys that I am still a person. You can still talk to me like I'm a human being. So I want you guys to treat me with the same respect that you would treat, you know, somebody who's homeless, and treat me with the same respect that you would treat somebody who owns a business, that kind of stuff. I'm doing this not only build myself, but I'm also doing this to remind anybody who follows me in the future that I'm still a human being. I'm not a machine. I'm not sent here from space. I'm not run by the government or anything like that. I'm still a human being. I'm just another guy who just loves what he does, and I want to make a career out of it and hopefully be impactful on other people's lives. That is all for today's episode. I guess it's going to be a Q&A of some sort. Maybe I'll do a series out of this. I'm hoping to get some comments on YouTube. You guys don't really comment very much. You guys like the videos, but you never really comment very much. So I'm hoping to get some comments on some questions that you guys would like me to answer, and you know, you can ask them on my Instagram, you can ask them on my Snapchat, on my TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you want. Hopefully I can make a good series out of this. I really love, you know, sitting here one-on-one talking with you guys. I did want to touch on one last thing though. I've seen comments on some of my old Trash or Pass videos saying like, oh, can you react to this? I'm kind of done with that. I want to focus mostly on the music. You know, it's difficult to try and come up in something that's not very popular. Like, it's not very popular to see a Trash or Pass video. It's a lot to see a reaction. I might do some reactions on videos. I'm waiting for Jordan to figure out how to put my face in a corner and like play the video like in front of me. So that'll be one thing that I'm going to start doing when he figures that out. I think he's getting some new editing software pretty soon here. But yeah, that's some things that I just wanted to touch on the channel real quick. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you liked it. Please make sure to like and comment and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.